Okay, let's talk about palette knives and using them with a stencil, because there's a few things you don't want to do. So you don't want to have a little baby knife like this, because no matter how much you try and get on that knife, there's a physical limit to how much you can. And then when you get in here, you're going to run out real fast. So don't use a little knife, use a big knife. So when you've got a big knife, there's still some things you don't want to do. What you do want to do, you do want to come down with a nice, even sweep until you run out of texture paste. You don't want to do this, because this is not a good thing. Too many marks. You don't want to work it. Don't be doing that. Just a knife full, nice and even, come down nice and smooth with it. And when I lift this up, we can see the difference, how crisp the stencil marks are where I've gone simply with it, and how where I was mucking around with it, it sort of bleeds under there, it's all uneven. You don't want that look. It's just too much going on. One knife, the biggest knife you can handle, I use my huge knives for stencil work all the time. And again, that same stroke where you're starting with your knife up on its edge like this, and as you come across, you're rolling it down like that. Nice and crisp. And the good thing is, see those little edges that get pulled up by the stencil? That makes a little tiny pond in the middle of each bit of texture paste that will hold colour for you. It's pretty special. All right, palette knives. So these knives are pretty much the same except for the length of the blade. So I'd just like to point out at this point, see here, that's a cranked handle. It's cranked like a crank on an old-fashioned automobile. That's a painting knife. A mixing knife is just flat, like a butter knife, and these are cranked because it stops you dragging your knuckles in the paint while you're painting. So yeah, painting knife, not mixing knife. Don't try and do any of this with a mixing knife. You're just going to drive yourself insane. Okay, so this little knife I use a lot to make feather shapes. And so to make a feather shape, you need to put your knife down. You're squishing it down just a little bit to cause that texture paste to push up either side of the blade there. And then you're dragging it. And as you run out of texture paste, you lift up. And see all those little lines in there where my speed changed a bit? They're great. When you spatter paint a very thin wash on top of that, it'll show all of that. So just to show you again, the knife full down so it squishes out each side and drag it back like that. So that's typical feather shape. Now, if I want some bigger feathers, and I will because wings are composed of big feathers and small feathers, if I get my knife full, and you'll notice it's full all the way to the tip, I've got pretty much as it will hold. And same thing, upside down, well that texture paste up either side of the blade. And now I get a much bigger feather, yeah? So the size of the blade, it matters. That's a better one. That one's a little bit straight there. But if you make a feather and you hate it, you can just scrape it off your canvas. That's a thing too. And another thing, when I come over here to my mother load of texture paste, you'll find that I'm not filling up my knife by doing that. I don't want that on the back of my blade. I want to treat it like a loaf of bread. And I want to cut that off there and have it on the edge of my blade like that. So I'm left-handed. I'm hearing you already saying, but Dee, you're doing it left-handed. I don't understand. So with my left hand, I'm cutting off here. If you're right-handed, you'd be cutting off that side. Same story, but you're ending up with the texture paste on the working side of the blade. Really not very good with my right hand, am I? Okay, so the length of the blade makes a difference.